It's 7:15 in the morning. We just got booted off the bus at a hotel, and the current debate is, among myself at least, whether I should go back to sleep, a couple more hours, or get cracking my day and get some shit done. I got to sleep about 2 o'clock, I think. I'm really tired, but I can actually be productive today. I think I'm gonna get a coffee to stay up. So I fully intended to do some walking around today, take some photos in Chicago, but that weather's pretty dreary. And Sony is always incredibly vague on their weather ceiling. Good evening and greetings from Chicago. It's late. I have a really early call in the morning and I'm tired, so I'm going to keep this short. This morning we got booted off our bus at a god-awful 6:40-ish, I think, this morning. After leaving Kansas City, or St. Louis, probably 2-ish in the morning. Yeah, so I'm tired. I didn't go back to sleep. After the past few weeks, I was kind of feeling guilty for not accomplishing anything, so I went out for a 3.5, 4-hour hike this morning. Got back at 1 o'clock. And a couple hours later, I got to meet with a friend of mine who I met last year. I was in town, Larissa. And hung out this afternoon, had a great time. She's actually moving to LA, of all places, next week, which is just silly because I'm going to see her probably next week. Or next couple weeks or so. I'm sure she'll have to sell in first. But, yeah, a great time catching up. Went and had a really awesome Italian meal tonight. Chicago, man, you guys are a party in town on the weekends. Every restaurant we walked into was just packed to the gills. But we did manage to find a little hole in the wall, which is quite tasty, so I can't complain too much. But it was pretty insane out there. As far as walking around today, didn't do much other than walking around. I did bring a camera with me, and wasn't that I was uninspired. It's like a pretty, really cool town. I just wasn't in the architecture mood. My friend Lauren is a insanely awesome street photographer and architecture photographer. And I find I'm just, when I walk around to cool buildings, I'm just like, I just felt uninspired to pull the camera out. I probably spend, doing more snaps on my iPhone than I do with my Sony when it comes to walking around and seeing things. But Chicago, aside from that, Chicago is one of my more favorite cities to visit. And in reality, if I moved to another big town or big city, this would probably be what I want to live in. Kind of gives me a bit of like a Manhattan vibe without Manhattan attitude or the grossly stupid overpopulation. You can actually walk around the sidewalks, run into people. A lot to do downtown. Just a really cool spot. If you guys haven't been here before, I highly recommend it. Anyways, though, that was my last day off this run. We're heading home in 2 days. We got a show tomorrow in Tinley Park, and then going down to Indianapolis for our very last gig. Super excited to be going home, as I've been saying the last couple of days, and get started my little summer projects, of which I can't tell you guys about, but it'll be cool. I need to have a couple questions, or at least one. If you guys recall my last couple posts, I mentioned some weird little rig issues, and one of your viewers here had inquired whether we have more problems with hot, humid areas. Yes and no. For the most part, the gear does pretty well in the heat. If it's really, really hot, like the Speedway in Austin, the audio consoles will actually overheat. We have a bunch of fans. I keep a fan on Rick's rig basically all day long, as well as a fan on Rick, or 2 fans on Rick. So it's not that bad. I think the thing you run into is you do a fair amount of gear maintenance in the off season. You get gear fixed up, gear worked on, and when a tour starts going, you can only do so much maintenance. You can't really pull apart an entire rack during the day. do anything really like major surgery in the gear. So things just start to break down over time. You can do minor fixes during the day, but anything that's really drastic could potentially take a piece of gear out of commission for a day or so. While Guitar Tech's a lot of backups, I don't have a complete backup drum kit, so there's only so much I can do on the road in a given time that I have. A lot sometimes too is because there's a bit of an unwritten rule that once you do a line check, you don't tweak anything. It works, or at least push a sound jack. Push a sound jack, leave it. So I have a narrow window of a couple hours in a day when I can do projects. And I do maintenance, but there's things just break over time. Very long way of saying the gear breaks over time, and we're near the end of the run, which means we've been out for a couple months, and things are getting beat up, smacked around, bounced around in trucks. Combined with a lot of this stuff is pretty old. The computer systems we're using are coming up on 7 years old, which is pretty damn old for a PC that's been shipping around the world several times. So things are starting to give the go, so to speak. As far as with the overall drums, I don't worry about acoustic stuff. It's all electronic on your rig, so humidity, heat doesn't do squat to that. Guitar techs do have issues with that, but typically once you're in your environment, it doesn't change that much over the day. You do run into the issues when you have things where there's a 20-30 degree drop in temperature really quick or increase, going in and out of venues, a hot truck in a cold room kind of deal. That can mess with the guitars. But overall, summer, it's more just the gear bounce around, also the text bouncing around. I was talking to one of the guitar techs last night about gear issues, and the comment he made, he goes, generally I find more often than not it's him, is what he said. As much as I like to think that things are break, it's more often than not it's user error. And that's probably true for all of us. The hotter you get, the more out of it you are during a show. It's harder to concentrate, especially when you start shows when you're 100% humidity and 95 plus degrees, which happens on occasion. Pretty brutal. For me, I don't have too many of those problems, although I've had a few days where especially altitude, you get a little loopy. But Rick's race bounce around, so that's kind of what it is. Tomorrow, as I said, we're going to go to Tinley Park, the World, as it's known by most roadies. I think it's Hollywood Amphitheater Campus, or Hollywood Amphitheater Casino Amphitheater. Yeah, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. It's Tinley Park. Much like Denver will always be Pine Knob. Great venue. Looking forward to it. Lots of space. Got a few more projects to finish up, and then hopefully the show will go nice and smooth tomorrow. No more little weird quirks. I think I did manage to find out I discovered the issue last night that I was having for the last couple of shows, and it should just be a 5-minute fix. So, but right now I'm about 7 minutes in, and as I said, I've got a really early morning call. We're staying in downtown Chicago, and it's we're trying to get out of here before rush hour, so I think we're all bailing at 6:15 in the morning, which is ungodly early for a backline guy. Other crew guys like to give us shit because we had the short hours, and I totally said that. I don't do lighting, I don't do video, I'm not the early guy in, but we all choose our careers, and part of my career is I come in last in the day. My work day is 14 hours. That's the short day. Everybody else gets to 16 or 18 hours. So I'm at like 48 early. And I still have to put my shit away. So I'm going to sign us off for the day. I shall see you guys tomorrow from Tinley Park or Hollywood Casino Amphitheater. Another Def Leppard show. Second to last show, which is, there's 2 more shows and we're home. I cannot wait to get home. All right. Catch you all later.